Hi, Lily.
Hi, David. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks. And you?
Yeah, I'm well. So this course overview, what's this course overview about?
The course overview is what we think everybody should sort of go through in some sense. This is, if we had a core part of the material, this is it. This is, it gives the key elements that we think data scientists, their managers, and collaborators should all be on top of in their awareness, so that they can be part of projects which do responsible AI. And it's intended to be relatively brief. I mean, it shouldn't take more than an hour or two to consume.
Hopefully not. So we have these three different parts of it. So understanding variability.
Yeah, I mean, that sort of, this is where, this includes what we hope is a sort of an element of demystifying data science to actually.
Which you aim to do in 5 minutes.
I aim to do that in 5 minutes, and I claim I fail, but hopefully people find that useful. But I think in that, we're trying to help people sort of see data in terms of the variability within the data, and that our job as data scientists is really all about, managing the variability in the data. We talk about the 3 types of variability: the good, the bad, the ugly. And it's sort of, and we try to sort of really make data science and the power of data science. There's all this hype around data science, and on the one hand, it's just hype, and on the other hand, there's substance to the hype. There's a good reason why people can and should be really excited by AI and what it can do for society. And so we try to sort of make that clear in the demystifying video.
Absolutely. And so then in data misrepresentations, we go into how data can be or places where data has been misrepresented.
I mean, we're not doing everything here because there's so much could go in here. But we mentioned Simpson's paradox, which is in my mind, Simpson's paradox encapsulates sort of how a valid statistical analysis or data analysis can mislead unintentionally, just because there's structure to the data. And so people can watch the Simpsons paradox video if they're not familiar with Simpsons paradox. They should probably look it up and understand. And the basic point there is that a good analysis can get the answer wrong if it's not deep enough. That there can be elements in your data which lead to an incorrect analysis, or incorrect interpretation from a correct analysis.
And then we go on. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, and then we go on to the missing data part, which is obviously a part close to my heart.
Yeah, I mean, this is your expertise as well. But it's sort of, and again, what we present there, we come back to that in other ways, but what you really we present there, and I love the discussion we have around the map, where we sort of show that, well, actually, this isn't, data can only represent the data that's there. It's very, very important piece of information there. Well, piece of information. People are aware of this, I'm sure, but it needs reminding. It needs to be made clear.
Yeah. And then finally, being responsible.
This is really, when we started building this course, we were inspired by some of the work on counterfactual fairness, which Turing has been deeply involved in. And we sort of try to explain how, if you go deep into the sort of these questions of fairness and how to achieve them within machine learning algorithms, then what you come out with is exactly the same thing, which is sort of can be understood much more with much simpler concepts. This idea that we need contextual understanding. You need to consider context. You can't have one-size-fits-all solutions for lots of things. You need to work collaboratively to understand context, to understand the questions you're talking about, and so on. And so a lot of the course I see is inspired by this. And we also discussed very briefly, of course, how we've been inspired, that about being responsible by our interactions with the philosophers on this. And we really feel that that's sort of central about sort of, as data scientists, we shouldn't be seeing the requirement to be responsible, which is probably going to become legislation soon, as being a threat. We should be seeing this as empowering us to do what we can do better and more. That's sort of what that section's about in my mind.
No, and yeah, very interesting.
Great, and I think so hopefully that sort of gives the overview of the course as a whole, because then really the rest of the course is just sort of going one layer deeper into those discussions. And I suppose in the conclusion, we then point people to courses which will allow them to go even deeper into most of the key components. And that's sort of really how we've intended this course to sort of be. It's sort of the course overview is high-level overview. You go deeper with the course as we put it together, and then you can go into much more depth through through the other courses which have been sort of developed as part of Turing's effort on responsible AI.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you.